Sup you beautiful people. Hope you've had a fantastic day. Welcome back to a brand new episode of What If Deku Was Cursed by Death. If you guys enjoyed this what if, comment down below and let me know. And go ahead and check out other what ifs in the channel after watching this video. Don't forget to shower some appreciation onto the incredible author responsible for this fanfiction. The link is conveniently waiting for you in the description box down below. Before we get into it though, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and also share this video with your friends. So let's start this video. No one ever talks about their near-death experiences, and when they do, it's far-fetched or they never remembered. The thing is, it's a good thing they don't remember it. When one person comes close to death like this, it's as if their whole being is set ablaze with the fires of hell while being dipped into acid, then being frozen in the waters of the Arctic, but 10,000 degrees colder. The soul is one of the most fragile parts of the human. When it's in a mid-state like that of being in the middle of life and death, limbo, the soul is being grappled by the two beings. It is being tugged from one side to another. It hurts. Almost like one's arms being ripped out by two disputing friends for the attention of the one in the middle. A tug-of-war. The soul is fragile, so each time it happens, a piece is lost to one side. If life has the bigger piece, then death has to give back the smaller piece. This is where the pain comes from, fusing the two pieces of the soul back together. It is a harsh experience. But with Izuku, the pain is so much greater, the experience so much harsher. Imagine a porcelain doll being thrown with the power of all might against one of the strongest metals. In a better explanation, his soul is basically being shattered into a 3,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, then being forced right back with a few of the pieces in the wrong slots. The experience is one that he hopes any of the newer champions will never have to go through. That they will not be stubborn like him and actually willingly accept being a child of one of the immortal beings. The night is a dark time. Even with the light of the moon and the stars. The twinkling stars that stare down in horror as the humans fight. The stars and moon, having seen so much bloodshed and the harsh violent acts of humanity, they cannot seem to get used to any of it. The worst for them is all the horrible acts against nature. Again and again, they watch. Again and again, they cannot do anything. Right now, they watch as the heroes seem to be losing. Right now, they watch as the determined child of death has been killed. Crushed to death. For protecting the child of fate. Just how many more unimaginable horrors should these humans cause? Horror is displayed on Koda's face as he listens to the crunching sound of his friend, of the guy that risked his last chance of being a normal human for another few years. In an act of pure instinct, he looks at the strings of fate that are wrapped around Muscular's wrists and ankles. Like a puppeteer, he tenses his fingers, spreading them like he's puppeteering the marionettes for a show. He waits as the 4 strings wrap around his own fingers. When secured, he balls his hands up, grasping the strings and uses it to control the villain. In haste, he takes control of the villain's movements and forces him away from the older champion. Koda forces himself to not even peek at the deformed body, as he throws Muscular into the side of the building. I should take about 5 minutes rest time during my deaths, but I never have the chance. I technically didn't die my first. The second time, I let it be about 3 minutes, or else my friends would have died. He knows that the damage Izuku suffered will not be healed in 5 minutes. This one can be healed in that short span, not to mention the agony he'll have to endure when he is forced to accept the full title of championship. Koda ignores the questions and protests from the villain. "You're just my pawn," he shouts through tears and anger. And pawns don't talk. He tightens his strings, bringing the villain to his knees. The adult is a marionette to the puppeteer of fate. He is left gaping at the child who has a water quirk and is able to control him. How is that possible? How? He whispers as fear slowly starts eating at him. Koda takes a page out of Izuku's book and gives a smile. Not as predatory, but a sickly sweet smile that makes him seem innocent as he tilts his head. By using the water in your body, how else? Izumi hides his own terror in an overly happy, innocent facade as he glances over at Midoriya. The bones have halfway healed, and the internal organs are slowly healing as well. It's been 3 minutes already. 3 minutes and the healing is not yet done. Koda closes his eyes as he tries to figure out what to do. Plus, we do need to learn witchcraft. Surely there's a spell on how to erase or warp memories. That is what Izuku said, but isn't there a spell that can accelerate healing? Your friend is dead, kid. You're stuck with me and no one will come for you. They'll be as dead as your friend, taunts the villain despite his situation. Koda turns to him with his usual scowl, snorting as he forces the man to fall forward on his face. You're an idiot if you think that. Death has no reason to take any of us. And I'm not dead, thank you very much, comes the raspy and pained voice. He tilts his head as he lets out a Cheshire grin. Kota, I suggest you let him go. I'll handle him. Izuku, your injuries. He whispers. Blinking rapidly, Izuku glances at his broken arms and moving bones underneath the flesh that covers his ribsage. Muscular watches with wide eyes at seeing the bones being put back by themselves. The bones move and squirm, like worms underneath. I'm fine, you can see them healing, right? So don't worry about them. Just let him go. With slight hesitation, Kota lets the villain go after having gotten behind Izuku. Once he is out of sight, the flesh on Izuku's face begins to peel off and turn into dust, revealing the muscle and veins that follow the skin into the air. His hair sways as the wind starts picking up around them, kicking up dust and sending away the flesh until nothing but bone is showing. His torso fading in and out, showing his ribsage and breastbone along with the spine and the tips of his hips. It's almost as if the child of death is becoming a skeleton, but because of some of his injuries, he can only change his face. The villain watched with revulsion at the sight of skin flaking off like sand in a breeze. What the hell? He whispered as the teenage hero summons his side. The boy is looking like the Grim Reaper with human skin. The chill in the air weighs heavily on his shoulders as the brat gets closer and closer. 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 The tension is suffocating. Can't breathe. Closer. Why won't he let him go? What the hell is he doing? The air reeks of decomposition. He gags trying to call on his quirk, but trepidation has taken a hold of him, keeping him in place as the death is staring at him in the eyes. Purple mist spills out of those sockets, becoming a low-hanging fog around their feet. In his sight, bodies upon bodies surround him. Corpses that have died by his hand. Corpses that move and moan, screeching like banshees as they get to their feet and surround him. You're surrounded by your victims. Have fun dealing with their want for justice. Kota lets out a small squeak in fear at his friend's display. He knows he's the champion of death, but he has yet to show such power like this. The teenager turns around now with flesh. No bone in sight. Come on, we need to get you to Eraserhead. Me Midoriya? He questions timidly. He isn't afraid of him but the things he can do. If possible, will he himself be able to do something in the same nature? He doesn't know and hopefully never has to reach that point. Izuku is taken aback at the sudden change in Kota's demeanor, slumping his shoulders, since he can see that he scared him, slumping his shoulders. I'm sorry Kota. You shouldn't have to see that. Come on. Get on my back. He won't be moving anytime soon, he reassures him with a small, soft smile. He places a broken hand on his small shoulder, wincing slight at the jostling pain. You're still hurt. We should wait a little longer. We can't, Kota. I have to get a message across first. I'll be healing on the way, as long as I don't continue getting hurt. What about those ghouls? Are they going to kill him? No. They can't hurt him physically, but mentally is another matter. Kota, with concern, gets on Midoriya's back. He wraps his arms around his neck, keeping a tight but loose grasp on him. Izuku, what about the title of champion? Firing up one for all, Izuku hops off and going as fast as he can. As long as I don't heal fully during this fight, I'll be fine. With my arms, they'll be harder to heal, so I have about 15 to 30 more minutes tops. Hopefully, that will be enough time to end this and get everyone to safety. Izuku, there's someone coming. He looks up to find Aizawa-sensei who sighs in relief at seeing them. That relief turns to concern at the sight of his student. Midoriya. You did it again, didn't you? He inquires, referencing to the stain incident. It doesn't matter right now. Take Kota, he has a water quirk. With his help you should. He cuts off with a pained hiss, feeling the bones in his arm move under his skin. The pain is unbearable, coming in like waves that constantly hit the sand right after another, again and again and again, feeling way worse than being crushed. He can put out the fires. They're after Bakugo, I need to get to Mandalay. Midoriya, he begins as he takes Kota into his arms. He might not have been feeling too much pain with the adrenaline, but seeing the bones move tells me they're healing, and it's painful. What happened? Lost my last chance, if that's what you're wondering. I really need to go. I don't have time. Wait, tell Mandalay something for me. Aizawa watches the child of death run off. He glances at Kota who is crying silently. He doesn't get a chance to speak, since the boy starts asking questions between broke sobs, sniffling as his body begins shaking in the adult's hold. You know that he's a champion. And not. He wasted his last chance to be a normal hero for me. He sighs and reassures him. He turns and starts running back to the place he left his students. Explain what happened if you can, I need to know. Throughout the explanation, he reminds himself to talk to Izuku about self-preservation when all this is over. He listens as Kota tells him the truth about the two's relationship. Gosh, another champion. Just how many more are out there? Problem child, we have a lot to talk about. He'll be okay, he reassures, rubbing the child's back. If I know Midoriya, this won't be just an attack to get Bakugo, but to get him too. I should have stopped this, he whispers. Through tears he looks up at Aizawa. I knew this was going to happen, but I couldn't say anything. Fate, well kind, would not have wanted me to alter this. I wish I could have done something different. I should be told Mandalay. Kid, you are not at fault here. You had to let this play out, if not now, then it will happen again sometime soon. Just look forward and see what the outcome is. What's my fate? He does this to reassure the boy, hoping that it isn't too gruesome or worsens the situation. Kota touches one of the strings on Aizawa's hand, focusing. In the end, he shakes his head. Too many pathways for you. But I can get a glimpse. He scrunches his eyebrows in concentration. A hospital. You're visiting someone. I can't see who. It's too far away. Too blurry. I can't. I'm sorry, comes the whispered apology. It's okay. Look around you but don't focus on the person. Wait. It's not just one. Multiple people. I think it's the students. They're alive, but there's something else. 10:40. I can't tell if it's night or morning. He frowns more, burying his face into his shoulder. Your phone rings. He blinks and shakes his head. I couldn't see anything else, but that is what each pathway mostly leads to. If there's a different outcome, I can't see it. It's okay. You did good. Shota stares ahead, his grasp on the child tightening in worry and in fear. No matter what, these villains will pay for putting my students in danger. Izuku breaks through the tree line to find the stained-dressed reptile about to slash Mandalay, and he decides to intervene. He shatters the overkill of a sword and skids into a squat a few feet away. His green eyes blazing with both pain and exhaustion, physically and just being tired of bullshit. Nah, we don't cut ladies when they're down. At the moment, Pixie Bop and Tiger take the sudden distraction of the villains to knock them unconscious. Mandalay rushes over to the young teenager who had just saved her. Her eyes scanning the injuries that are all over his body. Izuku. Those injuries, she thinks. They don't look all too good. Are you okay? I'm fine and so is Kota. He's with the Racerhead. Mandalay, you have to broadcast something to the students. He tells her what was said so that she can tell the others. When it's done, she turns to Midoriya who is doubled over panting and sweating. One more thing, the villains, they came for Bakugo. He is the only one who can't fight the villains. Izuku, what's wrong? A shake of a head and persistence for her to tell them. It has been identified who the target is. Bakugo, you are not allowed to fight, get to a teacher, now. Mandalay turns back to Midoriya. You should come with me and Tiger to treat your wounds. He shakes his head again. No, I'm fine. Don't worry. I have to get to Bakugo because knowing him, he will still try to fight. Izuku, you're in no condition to be out there fighting. Your arms have suffered a lot of damage. I'm fine, Mandalay. I promise to get a checkup once all this is over, okay? He smiles at her before rushing off. He doesn't need to waste too much time on arguing with the pro-heroine, knowing that he won't be able to win against her. If he's alone when the next wave of pain hits, it'll be better. He can't explain well to someone why it's happening. Well, he can say it's because of his arms, but then they'll force him to sit out. No, he has to do this first no matter how much he dislikes the guy. He knows why Aizawa partnered him up during the exams, hoping that they work together, but Midoriya had gone off on his own to prove a point. Now, he is going to try and undo that mistake. Izuku is breathing harshly as he weaves through the trees. He can feel his stamina draining as his body is too busy healing itself. He scowls but before he can stop, he's pushed to the ground as something swipes over them. He looks up to meet the eyes of Shoji, who is grabbing him and putting him out of sight of whatever just tried to attack him. Shoji. What happened? What's going on? He asks as he studies the hurt eye. A loud roar cuts through, and realization hits Midoriya like a brick wall. Holy, is that Dark Shadow? Shoji, what happened? He explains before asking Midoriya on his health, seeing the badly broken arms. How can you still be standing right now? He inquires with concern. His classmate is way too determined for his own good. Adrenaline, he answers simply with a crazy grin on his face. Tokoyami is yelling at them to run and to leave him, that he can't control Dark Shadow. Even though he can't see him, he can hear the outright terror in his voice. Meizo is concerned for both of his classmates, and he feels helpless. Midoriya is obviously hurt, he can see a few bones that are sticking out, but have yet to break skin, and Tokoyami has been overtaken by his quirk, and he doesn't have light to even try and calm Dark Shadow down. Midoriya, do you know where Bakugo is? They were second to go in, so they should be farther in than the rest of us. Surely, they are still there, and with their quirks. We can lead Tokoyami to them. Meizo contemplates it before nodding. I'm going to carry you so you don't hurt yourself anymore. Midoriya wants to argue, he can see it, but the pained expression that crosses his face is enough for the argument to never happen. He sighs and gets on Meizo's back, then the dupli arm quirk user shifts his arms, so that they make a basket-like thing around this small yet heavy child. At the right moment, Shoji runs into the view of the dark quirk. He doesn't get too far, running into someone and knocking Midoriya out of his grasp. With both looking up, the two find Todoroki, Bakugo, and some unconscious guy. There is a villain behind them, using is it their teeth? And why is he in a straitjacket? Izuku glances at Dark Shadow, who is rampaging, grabbing the villain and breaking his teeth before throwing him far away. Midoriya, whispers Todoroki as his eyes land on the broken arms. I don't care what you have to ask, just help Tokoyami. Use your fire and explosions, please. Shut up. Shitty Deku. I just fought muscular and was almost crushed to death. I am not in the mood to take attitude from you, Katsuki. Yes, he lied. Does he feel bad for that? No. Todoroki glances at his wrist for a split second before looking away. That is why he lied. He doesn't want him to know just yet. With more grumbling, the two lighten the dark forest until their classmate is back to normal. We should hurry. Izuku stumbles forward to be caught by Tokoyami as he almost lets out a small scream of pain. His torso feels like it's on fire, burning and tearing into him. His arms are numb, but slowly as the adrenaline wears off, he can feel the agony spread throughout. I'm fine, he grounds out. We should get that fixed up, suggests Todoroki as his eyebrows scrunch up a bit. Bakugo rolls his eyes but does not comment. I don't see any of us having any supplies on hand. And it doesn't matter, we'll have to keep moving. This isn't safe since we're sitting ducks out here, especially since Bakugo is still a target. I'll beat their asses. I don't need any of you to protect me. Following so, he lets off a few explosions with a snarl. You are not allowed. Either you come with us willingly, or Shoji will be carrying your unconscious body. If I could, I'd leave you here just like I did in the exam, but because this is a real life-threatening situation, it goes against my nature, he admits, glaring at the blonde who is staring at him with disbelief, before falling back to his usual scowling expression. Whatever, shitty nerd. He turns away and starts walking. Midoriya takes that as the best he can get, planning out loud. He puts Todoroki and Tokoyami to flank Bakugo's sides while keeping him in sight, and Shoji and him will take the rear. Shoji will be able to keep eye on things and he will be in the middle. Due to their request, he doesn't like it, but because he's forcing Bakugo to do something he doesn't like, then he'll have to force himself to do something he doesn't like. And so they're off. How long has it been? I haven't kept up, he thinks, slightly panicking at the thought of it happening in front of his friends. It sounds like he's a werewolf about to turn, now that he thinks about it. In his peripheral vision, he catches sight of death. Zuku, 15 minutes. As the immortal being leave, he sighs. He glances at his arms and hopes that they don't heal just yet. He starts scratching at his left palm with his middle finger on the same hand. They come up to see Uraraka and Tsuyu fighting against a female villain. She's talking, smiling, as she fights against their classmates. Bloodlust is shining brightly in her eyes as she swipes at the girls with a shining blade. Todoroki takes the chance to put up an ice wall in front of the girls, to keep them safe. Red eyes snap over to the group in surprise before the smile comes back. Oh. She gasps slightly at the bloody sight of the green-haired boy. Are you Midoriya Izuku? Wow. You're quite amazing. The set teen is taken aback by the sudden recognition. Yeah. Shigaraki is dead set on having you and Bakugo join the league. Then the following expression that overtakes her face, it's not one that Midoriya likes. After all, with your contract with Shigaraki, you can't go against him. Silence. The world around them has faded out, and the clearing where they stand is all they know for the time being. The tension that blooms and thickens between all 8 of them has become suffocating. They stare widely between Midoriya and Toga, the girl who just revealed that Deku made a deal with a villain. It can't be true. It has to be a lie because Deku is not stupid enough to do that. Deku, thinks Uraraka. She's lying, right? She has to be. There's no way you made a deal with Shigaraki that day. The zero-gravity quirk user's shoulders slump when she realizes that he has not even denied it. She stares with wide eyes at the boy who is grimacing and looking away. He isn't denying anything. He is just standing there as Toga laughs giddily at him. 12 minutes left. Izuku never really thought about the contract. He had forgotten about it this entire time. The good thing is, he had been able to record everything that Shigaraki wanted to know. He can't go back on it, after all the contract won't allow him. So when the yellow-eyed girl, Toga Himiko, although he doesn't know her name, announces that because of that stupid contract, Shigaraki Tomura is wanting him to join the villains, and he can't do anything to stop it. He will never become a villain no matter how much they try to force him to. Shigaraki can try all he wants, but he will never become that guy's puppet. He huffs, letting the sigil appear as he holds up his hand to show it. He ignores the looks and the questions that he's receiving, hoping at least someone decides to take the villain out while he has her attention. Does his look like this? Wow. Yours looks so much better though. She hums as she taps her chin with her knife. She drops her cold demeanor and shrugs, twirling the blade. I mean, hey. According to Shigaraki, he had been able to make a deal with you, and you have yet to pay up your side. Until you do. Well, he never told us since he started cackling. He didn't even know about the contract. Why the hell is he acting like he knows everything about it? Oh? Someone. A woman who I look up to now, after learning who she is, came by and told him. Takawa Chara is her name, by the way. That causes Izuku to let out a small gasp. So you can see that he knows her, and for some reason, the name sounds familiar to her too. She just can't put her finger on it. Crimson Artist. The frog-human hybrid knows what her friend is trying to do. He's trying to stall and distract her, until one of them are able to attack, but they can't move. Suyu is trying to figure out how to attack, but she can't. Her tongue is hurt, so she won't be able to grab her. All she can do until she comes up with a way to work around the injury is watch and wait. Yup. Where is she? Don't know, but you might find out if you come with us. After all, I'll be happy to accept you into our team. And you can bring Bakugo with you. Midoriya scowls and shakes his head, annoyed that no one has done anything to take the bitch out. I won't be going with you, no matter what you say. If anything, try force, but I'll die before I join you. She shrugs, twirling her knife as the crazy smile comes back. The blonde lunges at him, but he doesn't let her get close, summoning his scythe and using only his left hand. He grimaces since despite it being less injured than the right, it is still broken and difficult to move. That seems to jumpstart his friends who help him, letting him fall back and nurse the arm he hurt more with the sharp movements. We'll meet again, my love. Who was she talking to? Tokoyami mutters before turning to the girls who are staring at the guys. How are you doing? Surely, the villain couldn't vanquish you. Uraka smiles brightly in reassurance. I love how he speaks. Oh, of course not. And I think she was talking to Deku since he's the only one with blood on him. She had been telling us the guys with blood coating them are the best, or something like that. A sudden sound of skin meeting skin is shot through the night. She turns to the source, finding Deku on the ground grimacing at both his injuries and the punch he received. 8 minutes left. You made a deal. Shouts Katsuki, fuming at the fact that this waste of space had made a goddamn deal with the devil himself. Just how dumb is the idiot? The explosive male knew there was something wrong with the other, and now he knew. You're just a spy, aren't you? The shitty nerd just grins as if he finds the situation he's in funny. Honestly, if that's what you think, I would have killed you by now. The only reason you're here and not in the hands of the villains, is because I decided to tell Mandalay to warn you. He stands up, being careful not to hurt his arms anymore. I like how you accuse me of being a villain, when you know damn well that being a hero is all I want. Even way before I showed signs of having a quirk. He turns away from him. As for the contract, it was a forced one, but it was a good one. Knowledge about me for knowledge on the Crimson Artist. I now know who she is, so I will pass the information on to Tsukauchi who can get a warrant to arrest her. Midoriya, that was a reckless gamble. Giving information to villains. How do you know they're not lying? Shadow asks, concerned for his friend's behavior. He glances at Shoji who is still on lookout. Midoriya sighs and tilts his head as he looks at him. The wind suddenly picks up, and the smell of sulfur mixed with rotting flesh fills the air. The girls and the boys, except Midoriya, covered their nose in disgust of the smell. The only one not doing it snaps his attention to the trees, green eyes scanning them. They won't lie to me. Well, Shigaraki won't anyway. After all, he can't since he'd be in so much pain that he can die if he doesn't tell the truth. The thing about contracts like these are risky business. This is why no one should make a deal with me. What are you going to do? There's someone watching you, Izuku. If anything, you might not be able to fight them off given the fact that you're in pain. Beetle had decided to show up to alert him about the danger. He had spotted the villain in the trees, ready. The way he stares at one particular spot doesn't suit well with anyone. Shoji follows and he can see what, well, who he's staring at. How did he know they are there? He'll have to ask later. Now isn't the time. They need to go. Todoroki. Shoji starts but he doesn't get the chance to tell him. The villain emerges with an exaggerated sigh. He twirls his staff as he looks between the heroes in training. A grin behind his mask slithers onto his face as he scratches the side of his head. You're quite perceptive, though I believe you might have some help. It reeks here, you know, sulfur and death. Do you have a demon around here? Or maybe a reaper? Oh, you like those two brothers from that one show. Are you? Are you talking about Supernatural? Inquires Uraraka, appalled at the thought that he, a villain, is talking about her favorite show at a time like this. Oh, yes, that one. The American show. Yes, it's quite a good one. Anyway, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Mr. Compress. It's a pleasure to meet you children. Bakugo is getting more and more ticked off by the second at this clown. He lets out a few explosions and rushes forward, ignoring the shouts of protests from his classmates. He does stop when the edge of a scythe is near his throat, scowling at the owner of the dead weapon. You bastard. How dare you? 6 minutes left. Midoriya glowers at him. His arms are in an awkward angle as he tries holding the scythe against his throat to keep him from charging straight at the villain and getting captured. You asshole. No wonder the villains want you. You act just like them. Yes. Such a person like you has no business being on the side of heroes. Not when we have a stage where you can shine even brighter. It's faster than they anticipated. He lunges forward, pressing a hand on each of the boys that they were graciously after. He uses his quirk before they can react. In his hand after a few seconds are glass-like marbles. On the ground lies Midoriya's scythe, which disappears into the shadows. No? The group shouts loudly as they try to reach towards the villain, who grins and escapes. He is able to evade Endeavor's Brat's ice attacks, heading to the rendezvous point where Dobby, Twice, and everyone else should be. He laughs as he hums to himself for that. He glances down at the marbles with a smirk behind his mask as he reaches his destination. There he meets up with Dobby, Twice, and Toga. Where's the others? The blue-eyed male rolls his eyes. They've got themselves into more trouble. Leave them there, idiots. Did you get both or just one? He shows them the two marbles that hold the two heroes in training. Before they can do anything, a wall of ice heads their way. Dobby grins maniacally, holding out a hand, and lets his blue flames run free to melt the ice. The look on Todoroki's face brings a joyful smile to Dobby's face, who is enjoying every moment of meeting this kid. Todoroki shouts, "Oh, what a pleasure to meet you. I can't wait to break your spirit, Endeavor. Mr. Compress, show them our gifts," he commands as a black portal appears behind them. Toga waves goodbye at the others as she grins widely, her yellow eyes glinting in the moonlight. With pleasure. He takes off his mask and opens his mouth, sticking out his tongue to show the two marbles on it. He places them on his hand, throwing them up and snapping his fingers to reveal the two captives. 3 minutes left. Tokoyami and Todoroki try to reach out to them, to grab them and get them away from these villains, but they're intercepted by Twice and his clones. In a flash, Todoroki freezes them, unbalancing his body temperature, while he sluggishly lunges for at least one of the two. His hand locks onto Midoriya's, who cries out in slight pain. He can feel the broken bones in his hand. Shadows' heterochromic eyes meet light green ones as the villain with blue eyes grabs onto Midoriya at the same time. Bakugo is grabbed by Mr. Compress, whose hand is wrapped around his throat. Crimson eyes meet Tokoyami's, who is staring at him helplessly and trying to call upon Dark Shadow to help, but he won't respond. He can't do anything. He can't do anything but watch them take his classmate away. Tears well into his eyes, his throat closing. "I'm sorry, Bakugo," he whispers as he watches him disappear through the portal with a small nod. Midoriya looks at Shadow with an apologetic smile. He doesn't like that. "Midoriya, what are you doing?" "Midoriya. Midori. Oof." He lets go of the green-haired boy who had kicked him harshly in the chest. The portal closes as Dobby grins triumphantly, taking away Midoriya. 2 minutes left. They're gone. Reality crashed down onto them. They're gone. They could have stopped it. They're gone. Everything is silent. No animals, no insects. Nothing. The night is dead silent. They're gone. Tokoyami collapses to his knees in exhaustion and in sorrow. He feels completely helpless. They're gone. Shadow holds his bruised chest as he stares at his hand. I had him. Why? Why is he going with them? I could have gotten him safe. Midoriya, why? Their other 3 classmates find them in the same position, staring at the same spot where they had disappeared through. We'll get them back. There is nothing that will stop us and the heroes from getting them back, says Todoroki. He is not going to let them win. Aizawa gets to the classroom that he left his students in. Kota is saying something, but he's talking to his persona. He glances at the child then at the building, needing to get him to finish whatever discussion they're having before heading inside. Come on. I need to get you in and safe. So if you can, don't talk to Fate. I don't know how anyone else would react to that, considering your quirk. He nods, clinging onto him for a bit longer before he sat down. He glances to Fate, who just revealed something that he never wanted to hear. Bakugo and Izuku have been captured, he whispers, voice trembling at the thought of his friend being in the hands of villains. Shota growls under his breath as he thinks about his students. He moves to go, but something stops him. He blinks and is now staring into amber eyes. The voice that speaks is ancient, a bit etchy. I suggest you don't. This moment and the following have been written on stone. There is no changing it. I bring along a message from Death's child. Midoriya. Fate nods as he steps back and places a hand on Kota's head. The hard truth will be revealed no matter what happens. It is best that this man knows what will be expected from the child of death, whether he likes it or not. Yes. He has a plan that will deal with this. If anything, hold off any attacks on the villains. If anything happens, Death will send a most trusted ghoul to rescue Bakugo and get him out of the line of fire. Why not both of them? You are aware of the contract between the leader of the League and Izuku. And not. He cannot leave him once it's in range for their second meeting. Being so, since Izuku has yet to uphold his side of the deal, he will be linked to him until he meets his side. Tomura has planned accordingly. He is having help from a previous champion, who is the last person Izuku will have to face before fully being a champion. He will have to kill her to earn his full title. Shota clenches his fists, gritting his teeth at the sudden statement. He will not let his student commit a murder just to become these immortals' puppet. I thought. Yes. Initially, fully accepting it or it being forced onto one is how it works, but this is a special case. While being a full champion, he still will have one last obstacle. Black eyes meet amber ones. He can't believe just the shit that is being told to him. He knows Midoriya enough, he won't kill anyone, no matter how many times he says it in anger and annoyance. He always makes sure to use trepidation to have someone get going, especially in a crisis. He has seen it well enough. He always makes sure someone else is safe before himself. So how can this being stand here and tell him that Midoriya is going to kill someone just to be a full-blown champion? Anger dances in those dark eyes as he inquires, but why him? Why does he have to be the one to kill? Simple. The one who is telling Shigaraki everything is the previous champion of death. When it comes to fate, nothing can be changed without determination and willpower. Fate is always around to push everyone to their breaking points, and test them to see how determined they are to change their path. Sometimes it takes more for someone to change their fate, and even then, it's difficult to change. Death is the same way, but then everything always has a price. A soul for soul. Whoever is meant to die and doesn't, another life is traded. How solemn is it to watch another die for you? To see one's face turn into horror at the revelation. Everything does come with a price after all. People just need to learn that, but it never seems to be the case. Human minds don't seem to comprehend anything. They're too closed, and even those that are open still try to deny things, closing themselves off to things that they do not want to have any part of. Monsters, magic, love. The ones with their minds open are worse than those with closed minds. They're the ones anyone shouldn't trust. 1 minute left. Tomura is cackling as he stands over the limp form of the child of death. Bakugo is chained up in a chair as the villains stand aside, staring at the boy who, a mere minute ago, had shrieked like a wounded animal before falling unconscious in Dabi's arms. The only one who knows anything about it is Tomura, who's putting the child onto his back and fixing his arms, so that they're straight and at his sides. 10 seconds left. Twice gags upon noticing the bones under his arms starting moving, the skin moving alongside them. The healing process is finally finishing up, and Midoriya's arms are slowly getting back together. 9. Mr. Compress tilts his head, listening to the way the bones snap and move back into place. While it is gross, it's quite fascinating. The ghastly sight of watching the child thrash from one side to the other, tensing his muscles and clawing the floor, it's fascinating. Multiple questions of what could have caused this reaction pops into his mind, gathering and gathering all into a cluster, until he loses himself in the endless possibilities. 8. Toga is pouting at the lack of blood. She wishes to see more of it but nothing. All she can do is just sit by and wait for whatever Shigaraki is so happy for. 7. Dabi stares on, bored out of his mind. This isn't all that fun to watch. It's just boring and disgusting. Not to mention the screaming is annoying as hell. 6. Spinner doesn't like this. This is the child that Stain said was worthy. This child had sacrificed his life to save another's. So why? Why are they just watching him shriek and writhe in agony like he's a circus animal performing tricks to entertain the audience? The villain feels sick to his stomach and forces himself to look away. 5. Kurogiri frowns at the sight, listening to the abrupt screams from the child of death. While Hikawa had warned them of this happening, he never really understood why exactly. She never even explained the reasoning for this, but apparently Tomiura knows. 4. The other few villains that had gathered around are looking away from the horrid sight. Well, they're villains, they just can't handle seeing bones moving around on their own. They're more into breaking and snapping them, not hearing it fuse together. 3. Tomiura is grinning like mad at the sight. Slowly, but surely he can see something start to happen. Around his heart, he can see a gray start to show, slowly darkening more and more. 2. Bakugo is helpless. He is tied to a chair and gagged like an animal. It was a sports festival all over again. This time, on the other hand, the shitty nerd is on his back, on the ground, screaming and arching his back in pain, as the bones in his arms are slowly being fused back together again. The noise is revolting. The sight even more so. He feels sick as black starts to overtake his childhood friend's veins, spreading faster and faster. It travels throughout his body. 1. The howl that rips from Izuku's throat is loud and haunting. The black veins have taken over his body, traveling up his neck and onto his face. They travel up into his eyes. He thrashes and arches his back, writhing. He can feel a fire rage through his bloodstream, burning everything inside him into ashes. It's so hot. Why is he burning? What is going on? Hot. It's too hot. He lets out another scream of anguish, his nails coming up to rip at his flesh. It sounds and looks as if something is killing him from the inside. After all, what else could have brought on such a ghastly reaction? His back arches as the black seems to eat at his insides, at his blood. It hurts. It hurts. Please, let it be over with. Please. It hurts. His eyes snapping open where they all see vibrant light green eyes turn purple with gold flecks. His sclers are full of black veins all surrounding his irises, pulsating as blood starts filling up in them and spilling over the sides of his face. It all takes a few more minutes before everything fades, and he falls limp. Shigaraki hums with a grin on his face. What the fuck did you do to him? Bakugo wants to say, but he can't. The muzzle on his face won't, but it doesn't matter. Shigaraki can't see it in his eyes. Now. I never did a thing to him. This is all his own fault. He wanted to be a hero and this is what that got him. All I did was give it a push. Izuku groans, feeling as if someone lit his body on fire, ripping his soul into millions upon millions of pieces and forcing them back together. He pushes himself up, trying to recall the last thing that happened. He feels sick. Nauseous. He places a hand on the side of his head, groaning once again. Green eyes slowly open, but something is wrong. Those vibrant light green irises are gone. Replaced with two pale green orbs. They look to be almost fuzzy. Blurry. For a moment they're not focused on anything until they clear up a little bit. Kurogiri is the first to notice. Is he? What happened to his eyes? He asks with a soft voice. Has this kid gone blind? Those pale eyes snap over to him. You're that villain from the USJ. He whips his head around, his eyes scanning everyone. No, he whispers. His attention lands on the ringleader of it all. Shigaraki. Hello Midoriya. It's so nice to see you alive and well. No, it's not. Ugh, he groans again as he stands up on shaky legs. Izuku glances of his shoulder, finding Bakugo staring at him. He turns back to Shigaraki. Let him go. I don't think so. A venomous smile comes to his lips. Come over here, he commands. The reaction is instantaneous. The twerp hisses in pain as he grabs his hand. Unwillingly, he walks over to him. Amazing. She was right. You really can't resist. Hikawa Chara, the crimson artist. He growls, glaring up at him with those creepy eyes. She told you about the contract and she helped you plan everything. So what if she did? You can't do anything about it or leave without my permission. His attention is diverted to the angry blonde who is struggling against his bonds. Oh, Bakugo, I have forgotten about you. Now, Dabi, take off the muzzle. Toga, you heard him. Eh? Why me? What if he bites me? Twice, go. Ugh, alright. You won't ever do anything that Shigaraki says anyway. Twice walks over and takes off the muzzle from Bakugo, jumping back when he tries to bite him. TCH, brat. See? I told you he was going to bite me if I tried to do that. Shut up. You're as annoying as the crusty-ass bastard over there, Dabi mutters, jabbing a thumb over to Shigaraki who fumes in annoyance. Izuku rolls his eyes. Charming team you have here, Tomura, he mutters. Seriously, I can totally see you winning against the heroes. The sound of skin meeting skin resonate throughout the bar. Midoriya is holding his cheek from where he was just slapped by the leader. You sarcastic little shit. Shut up and go sit with Kurogiri and do as he says. Kurogiri watch him. A low growl comes from his throat but does as he says, deciding not to fight the contract this time. He starts shivering slightly. Kurogiri, while the other villains deal with Bakugo, takes Midoriya to a backroom go get him a change of clothes, so that he wouldn't be cold. From the backroom, Midoriya rolls his eyes up to the ceiling at the sudden yelling and threats coming from the hothead. How long have you known him? Since I was 4. I was so naive and ignorant back then, so I'm glad that I earned common sense at the age of 12. Rotten personality equals terrible person equals never should be a hero, he mutters under his breath, but loud enough for the villain to hear. He can hear the resentment in his voice and glances over his shoulder at him. He treated you terribly. Me and everyone else. But I was mostly the target for my supposed quirkless title. Once they come back, Midoriya is wearing a suit like Kurogiri's. Toga notices and drools a bit at the sight of his hair being somewhat tamed and wearing a suit and tie. Twice takes note of this and pouts, crossing his arms while rolling his eyes. Is someone jealous? Mutters Dabi near his ear. The sudden voice next to his ear causes him to jump almost a foot in the air. Shut up, no, I'm not, he snaps back. He glances away and watches as Shigaraki orders Midoriya to sit in front of Bakugo. He tells Kurogiri to have a spare shirt on hand for the twerp. That doesn't sound good. Whatever he is planning does not sound right. Shitty Deku. Asshole. You're one of them, aren't you? Wow, you're dumb and blind. You apparently haven't been watching everything, or do you just want me to be a villain? Are you two done? Cause I want to see just how much of a hero you two can be. Shigaraki, your voice is like grating a rock in my ear. How about letting someone else speak? Tomura moves to hit him, but Kurogiri stops him. Enough, Tomura. They talk. Well, Shigaraki talks, while Midoriya just answers with whatever simple answer goes along with the questions. Bakugo is yelling over them, thrashing against his bonds. It's annoying. Dabi finds it amusing and wishes he can record the whole exchange. He isn't a fan of heroes, but the green bean is his favorite so far. Either join us or we'll force you. Why? Wah. What? Why else would we ask you? I don't know, maybe waste your time since your life is meaningless. Some indignant and incoherent yelling from Bakugo. Well, the crusty-ass idiot of a leader yells in anger. It's been an hour, Shigaraki, he says, bored as hell. They're not going to cooperate with you. The blonde one is an idiot, while the green one is hilarious with how easily he makes you annoyed. Dabi, don't provoke him. He already looks like a caged animal with his pacing and muttering. You don't need him attacking you. That earns him a snort. I can see you just on the battlefield, trash-talking him the entire time. You'll probably get killed. His mood turns sour when he sees the sudden change in atmosphere. Shigaraki turns to Toga and grins at her with bloodlust in his crimson eyes. Kill one of them. I don't care who. The boy, Kota, is explaining everything to the detective after Namasa alerted the families and few heroes. The detective's hands are trembling as he listens to the child of fate explain something he doesn't want to hear. He needed to hear it, but it is too much. Izuku is in danger and under a contract that won't end good. He sighs and leans back. It's okay, Kota. Everything will be okay. Izuku is strong and he has Bakugo there, so if anything happens, they will find a way out. Hopefully, he adds mentally, knowing their relationship. Hello again, detective. Hello, Kota. Namasa and Kota both look up to see a man with pale skin and long red hair in a messy bun. Black webbing like cracks covers the left side of his neck, moving upward over his jaw and onto his cheek just beside the corner of his lips. It's like a cracked porcelain mask. Glowing purple eyes as he grins at them. You're the ghoul that visited me a couple of months ago. Ah, that's right, I never introduced myself. I am Beetle, one of Izuku's guides. Koda's eyes widen as he lets out a small gasp of surprise. You're a human ghoul. Izuku told me about you in his notes. I'd hope so. He kneels down beside him and pats his head. If you can, please go. Izuku is alright. He'll be back and you know it. I need to speak with the detective. I'll go and find you later, okay? Koda looks ready to argue, to tell him that he has to hear what he needs to say, but he holds his tongue at the look that is given. He nods and leaves the room, running to Tiger, who hugs him. Hey, it's okay. Come on. Let's go see Shino, okay? He nods and lets him pick him up. Izuku, be careful. I don't want you to lose yourself like the one who came before you. So, now that we're alone, I will be helping you and your team. Death has allowed me to interfere with you humans for the time being. It is necessary for everyone to see me. You'll understand why. What about Izuku? Anything on him? You're sentimental. You shouldn't work on this case, especially when it comes to this type of thing. No matter, I trust you more than the other monkeys. But first, I have to relay the message. Gather your people. I don't want to explain everything twice. Others can see you. He nods and walks out of the room, heading to where they do the debriefing. Once everyone is in there, the few heroes that had been called for help are there too. The smell of sulfur and death fills the air. They cover their noses and has someone air out the room. Who are you? Questions one of the heroes, Endeavor. My name is Beetle. I have news regarding the captives. The raspy voice that rings through the air sends a chill down their backs. The temperature seems to drop further, and no matter how much Endeavor tries, the temperature doesn't not rise. The ghoul's presence is keeping him from doing so. That and Beetle just likes to piss people off. Izuku has given me a plan that takes 4 days to complete. That sends an outcry throughout the people. They have to wait 4 days. Does the kid know just how dumb and risky that is? Just how much their reputation will be ruined? Not to mention just how much risk he is putting himself and the other boy in danger. What is it? Surely, you have to know that. A smile comes to his face, revealing sharp teeth. That will have to wait. Izuku wants me to tell you something before the plan, and I'm the type to beat around the bush to annoy people. He grins even more. Crimson Artist's identity has been found out. Her name is Hikawa Char. I hope you remember that case from a year ago that my friend helped with. As for Izuku's plan, well, he trails off into an explanation of it. No one likes how vague it really is. He is putting himself in danger for Bakugo and to get information for you all. He will be making things up as he goes. I don't think I have to mention how great of a villain act he can put up. He's right, pipes up one of the officers who had the pleasure of working with the kid before. Midoriya has been studying serial killers since the age of 12. Maybe earlier. He knows how they act and he knows how to replicate it. But how do we know if we can trust this guy? For all we know, he can be a villain who is trying to misguide us. Tsukauchi makes eye contact with the ghoul, shaking his head, since he knows just what he's going to do. He decides not to bother with the ghoul, especially from what he can see. Just like Izuku, Beetle seems to like being stubborn. The dead don't lie. We search for justice that has never been given to us, Angie. Why would I put my friend in danger? What the hell are you talking about? Dead. Beetle, Midoriya won't be happy when he hears about this. What are you two talking about? Namasa shakes his head again with a small laugh as he leaves the room and walks away. He just hopes the plan will work. Beetle wears the smile of the devil as he steps through things like a ghost. He heads to the corner and disappears into the shadows, leaving them all confused and taking away the smell and aura. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey today. I hope you enjoyed exploring the fascinating what-if scenario of Deku. The possibilities were truly mind-blowing. If you found this video entertaining, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world to me and inspires me to bring you more captivating content in the future. Stay tuned for more exciting what-if stories and other amazing videos coming your way. Until next time, take care, stay curious.